Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in DC Worlds Collide, we're going to take a look at a couple things. We're going to take a look at where the game has gone over the last month. What types of things are we seeing in the game? What's new since it's been launched? But also another piece of information I really like to look at, I think is very interesting, hopefully you do too, is revenue. How much money is this game making over the last month or so that it's been out? How many downloads? And how does that compare to some of the other games that have come out relatively close to the launch time of this game as well? I think it's going to be a fun conversation. For me, it usually is. Hopefully it is for you as well. So let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Let's talk about the game. So the game launched on July 7th. So as of the recording of this video, it is August 3rd. So in just a few days, this game will reach its 1 month mark. Now, one thing to keep in mind as we take a look at the data on revenue and downloads is that updates at the first of every month. So we will be missing 1 week of data for this game. So next month's data will have that full week, and then we'll see the full picture. However, with the information that we do have, it is pretty telling. But let's talk about the game right now. The game launched with a ton of stuff to do. We've got a lot of different game modes and a lot of different ways for us to build our roster, add strength to it. You've got reinforcements that you can add to your battles, and each one of these reinforcements has its own levels and upgrade mechanics and impacts to the team. We also have artifacts here, which are like weapons for your different characters that you can level up and upgrade, and has different impacts to the skills of your team as well, and their skills alone. You have the characters also, just by taking a look at the characters here, right? You've got badges that upgrade stats and impact your skills. Also, there's certain stats in here that you don't see on your armor, like your damage amp and your crit damage. You can get crit rate on you and attack for your gear, but these specific stats seem to be specific to badges. So you got badge upgrades here. Your artifacts go here. You've got your armor. You've got your upgrading your armor. You've got your personalizing your armor here as well. Once you max out that armor specific to this this hero here, imprint. I can't remember what they call it specifically. Signature. So you can add that to get additional stats as well. And not only that, but this game launched with a ton of stuff to do, right? So we've got all of those mechanics there. Over in Hall of Justice, we've got a pretty fun league challenge. It's a 3-phase boss battle, which I think is pretty cool with some decent rewards. That's one thing I think this game does really well on, is giving you quite a bit of resources in order to build up your roster. The rewards and everything that you get, I think, are really, really good. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is summoning material is very rare. It's actually pretty expensive when new characters come out. And with the last characters that they've launched, so since launch, we've seen Mr. Terrific. So we've got DCU Superman right here. We've got DCU Green Lantern Guy Gardner. And then we also have DCU Mr. Terrific right now too. And the team's not complete. Launching relatively close to each other too. And these, like I was saying, these characters really aren't super easy to get. Just take a look at this. So you go into here, you have to summon here. I wanted to test it, right? You could have purchased him early access for $50. But I didn't do that. I spent what I had for summoning material, and then I purchased summoning material until I could get this guy. And I spent around, I want to say between $200 and $300, much more than I would have spent if I would have just paid that $50. But still, I think that $50 is too high. And I think that's insane. When you take a look at the chances to get him, there's no guarantee. There's no pity to get him. It's just a 30% chance of getting this epic or character when you get an epic. So you're not guaranteed the banner hero. I think that's a mistake. Same with your legendary heroes. Legendary heroes, though, a little bit different, so I won't say same. There is a 150 pull pity in order to guarantee that you're going to get that legendary, which is cool. But I think you need a pity for the epics as well, because I think that's insanely expensive, especially when the summoning material is not given out very... What's the word I'm looking for? It's just, you don't have many ways to get it other than spending. So hopefully they fix that. The bugs here, eventually you're going to see these rooms get built out, and you got a bunch of mini games and everything. We already have a couple mini games here already with Batman and Green Arrow, which is pretty cool. You've got the adventures here. Here's a concern I have. So I was in a meeting prior to launch where they were going through and just kind of presenting the game and what it has to offer and everything. One thing I asked about was this exploration. This exploration, they have no plans of building this out unless maybe if we give enough feedback, then they might continue to build this out. I think this is a phenomenal game mode here. It's just something a little bit different where you go into the world, you do some exploring, you find things to get rewards. It's just, I have a lot of fun with it. Little puzzles, things here and there to work through. But if they're not going to add anything more to this, that is super unfortunate. We've got Digital Universe here, which is just your typical Labyrinth type game mode. They've added some additional trials for some heroes here. This is just basically you go in, learn a little bit about your hero, how the hero works, which I think is good. They also used to have this game mode in here, which was kind of like these little mini stories, like when you'd run through a story where when Wonder Woman met Steve for the first time. And then there were some other ones, I think, or I can't remember if that was the only one or if there was a couple more, but that would be cool to see in here as well. They have not launched any new game modes in this game since launch. It's only been characters. So I think for this game, that for the sustainability of this game, I would like to see more game modes. Yes, you may say we've got 12 different game modes already, but that gets a little stale. Actually, honestly, I think I would have preferred this game to launch with maybe 6 or 7 of those game modes, and then every month launch a game mode or two that they already had ready, rather than everything all at once. Because it is a lot at the beginning, but then once you're kind of in the rhythm and you're doing everything, it doesn't seem like enough. Because there's times where I just go in here, I can't progress anywhere for a little while, so I just do my dailies, get everything done. I'm done in like 20 minutes, and then I don't really do anything until the next day. So, except for when I'm trying to push my league challenge, or I'm trying to push not Crisis Watch, but Evil Falls. But it would be nice. It would be nice to see some additional stuff coming, or expand on some of the existing game modes. Like I said, exploration, add some new maps and things like that, I think would be cool. So over the last month, that's what happened. So there's a lot here. There's a lot of things to kind of immerse yourself in. We've got new characters that have come into the game pretty quickly. I think overall, everybody seems to be fairly happy with the game, except for the summoning. I think that tends to be the biggest concern overall. So I'd be curious, what is your concern about this game? What do you like about the game, and what do you think the game needs in order for it to be successful? Speaking of, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the information, the data that I was talking about. We've got almost a month here so of data on downloads and revenue for this game. And I want to compare it with another game that had launched just a week prior. So let's go ahead and switch over there. All right, so here we are, Sensor Tower. I really like this site. It gives me a decent idea of revenue and downloads, which may indicate the health of the game and how well the game is doing. I have talked to some devs. They say that Sensor Tower information is not 100% accurate, so I will say that to you as well. Obviously, nothing's accurate unless you get it from the company themselves, but I still think it's good information to take a look at because it does give you a ballpark idea. So let's take a look at DC Worlds Collide right now. So I'm just going to throw up in here DC Worlds. So just taking a look at DC Worlds Collide here. So you've got your Android information here. You've got your Apple iOS information right here. And taking a look at the last month. So remember, we're missing a week. We made about $1 million off of the Android platform and $1 million off of the Apple platform. So about $2 million total. And you've got 1.1 million downloads. So I will say, with some other games that I've seen, that first month is usually your highest month. Even the second month is fairly high because that launch months, just like with YouTube channels and things like that, launch months for games, that's where you see more views because people are interested about the game and they want to learn more and they want to see what it's all about. That's when people spend the most money for the most part as well. And then in the second month, you'll see that come down a little bit, in the third month, so on and so forth. $2 million in the first month seems pretty low to me, and 1.1 million downloads, at least registered here through Sensor Tower. So That's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what this looks like in the next month. Let's take a look at another game that launched. Marvel Mystic Mayhem launched 1 week prior. So I think it was 1 week prior, right? So Marvel Mystic Mayhem. So iOS and Android platforms, about the same. They got less downloads, less than 1 million downloads for Marvel Mystic Mayhem, and about $2 million in revenue. So less downloads, but the same amount of revenue that DC Worlds Collide saw. So that's the data. That's the downloads. That's the revenue for this game in the first month. Again, minus 1 week. It'll be interesting to see what this game looks like after its full second month. Again, just a reminder, that first month you typically see the highest amount of revenue and downloads. Then you start to decrease a little bit in the second and third month until you start to see it normalize. And then you kind of see what to expect going forward, as long as the game and the developers are providing meaningful updates like characters and game modes and events and things like that. And even for the pay-to-play aspect of the game, packs and offers and things that make sense that aren't overcharging and things like that. So, I mean, that's a huge thing. I'm sure that's a difficult balance as well, because free-to-play games have to make money as well in order to stay alive, which is why looking at revenue is so important, because if you know how much money this game is bringing in, then you can kind of think about, well, with that money, what are they doing with development and things like that? And if they're not getting enough money, are we seeing prices in packs and offers and stuff like that go up? Or are we starting to see better offers? So some things to keep an eye out as well. I'm very interested to see where this game is going. We don't have any new game modes that have come out over the last month. We'll see what this next month shows us. We know we've got some new characters coming to the game, so very curious about the future of this game. So that's what I had for you. What do you think? What do you think about the information that I just shared? What do you think about the game and its future? Are you excited? Are you kind of Very curious to hear from you. All right, everybody. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.